Okay, so if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know that I have a job in Oxford as a tax accountant. And this job has come with a lot of ups and downs. I've been, I've had a lot of successes with it, but there've been also a lot of, I've also really struggled with it. I found it very difficult, and yeah, it's been a real uphill battle to get anywhere with it, to make progress in it. And I had a review a couple of months ago now where, I didn't really have any idea how well I was doing in the job, but I had this review with my managers, and they were like, look, if you don't get better at this, it's going to be a problem, right? Yeah, and you know what that means, right? They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna get fired eventually. Of course, they didn't say that, but that we all knew that was what was happening, and so I was quite worried about that, obviously, because I was really struggling with the job, and now there was it was real. It wasn't just I was being told off every now and again for doing something wrong, but there was a bit of an ultimatum in play that was like, you need to get better, otherwise this is it. It felt really real. And I was really to stumps because I didn't really know what to do, because I was working really hard and I was trying my best. And they said look, if you just put together a list of things that you're going to do to get better, that would be great. And I didn't really know what to say because I was doing really hard work at this job. But anyway, I just kept going with it, and I have had moments of revelation where I thought I was doing really well, but then still moments that were going really badly. Anyway, I came into work today, and it was actually quite an exciting time because I have this other YouTube channel where I make travel vlog videos and stuff like that. And I've been uploading them over the weekend and over the past week, and I was, I'd uploaded some of these videos and they were doing really well. Normally my travel videos do horrendously badly. Well, it's still in the early stages, but they don't get very many views. But these latest episodes that I put out suddenly were getting a bit of traction, and it was really exciting. And the night before I came in, I'd gone and met up with some guy who I've met who just lives in my area, who's he's a YouTuber as well, and I was talking to him a bit about a documentary that I'm going to make in the future, and it was really exciting, and it was nice to see all this stuff coming together. And I came into work, and I was feeling a bit tired because it had been a long week, and I'd been out on the weekend, but generally I was feeling quite sort of optimistic about work, and I thought, I was kind of getting better. And it's funny because I had that bad review that I said earlier where they said, look, you need to shape up, you need to get better at your job, but I hadn't heard anything back since then, so it was difficult because it wasn't quite enough time that I'd had enough. I could definitely say I was in the clear, as it were. But it did feel a bit like I could be, this could be it. I could be doing fine now. The work I'm submitting is good enough. And so, yeah, I wasn't sort of resting on my laurels by any means, but I did slightly think that. And then I got a message from my boss that day that just said, if you're free at this time, let's go and have a chat. And I thought, okay, this could just be a normal chat, or this could be something's come up all of a sudden. Because I remember the first couple of months I worked there, he had sent me a message like this, just out of the blue, being like, oh, do you want to have a chat? This was before I had that review, that sort of performance review, a few months ago. It was way before that. My boss himself had said, oh, let's have a quick chat. And at the time I thought, this is a bit worrying. Maybe it's like bad news, but it turned out to be nothing. It turned out to be just like a little catch up. But all this stuff had happened since then, so I thought, I don't know. This could be completely not a big deal, or it could be I'm fucked. This is it. And I have a quote that I literally made up today, but I'm really going to remember this quote. I'm going to write it down, which is, never be surprised. That's my quote. And I recognised that I didn't know what this conversation we were about to have was going to be about, but I thought it could be a really big deal, or it could be nothing. I just don't know. And so I was sitting there, I was actually working on like a tax return that I had to get to someone that day, because there was a deadline coming up or whatever. And I got this Teams message to say like, in an hour or so, let's have a chat. But then I had to go back to doing this tax return because I was meant to get it finished that day basically. And so I was a bit like, oh shit, and obviously I couldn't concentrate on this tax return anymore because what this conversation was going to be was sort of going around in my head. And so I was just sitting there kind of trying to work, but to be honest, none of it was really going in anyway. Like I was struggling. It was a difficult return. I was struggling with it, and just all these thoughts were whirring through my head about what is this chat going to be about. And to be fair to myself, I did say like I should go in prepared to whatever this conversation is. So I had like a pad of paper with me, and I just wrote at the top of it like things to talk about in this meeting with my boss. And if something came up that I could say, I'd just write it down. Because I thought like it'd be good to have just a sort of idea of what I could say, depending on what it is. And so I was just kind of working this tax return, and then, I'd think of something and I'd write it down. So obviously it was very shallow work, I wasn't really working very deeply. But anyway, eventually I concluded like, I'm not really getting anywhere with this tax return, and I decided to go for a quick piss just to sort of clear my head. So I got up, went to the loo, and then after that it was about time to go for this meeting. So I just went into the meeting room where we were going to have it, and I had a few minutes to myself just in this meeting room, and this was the same meeting room that 5 months ago I'd been interviewed at and got the job, and it was quite weird to be in here again. It's not a room that I'm in very often in this office, so it was quite weird to be here. And I just thought, like, I've got a few minutes to myself. I'm gonna practice what I'm gonna say, because I had like a worst case scenario of like what he's gonna say. I recognise that if it comes to it, he's made the decision. I'm not gonna try and persuade him out of it. If this really is the end. But I think I can say my case. I can end it on a positive, and it doesn't have to be a negative experience. And so I was just sort of practicing things to say like out loud in the conference room, just because I wanted it to go as smoothly as possible, whatever it was. And anyway, I saw my boss come in and open the door, and I stood up, and he's like a positive guy, like he's really friendly and whatever. And he said hi to me, but I could just tell there was a little sort of slight dampness to his mood. Like there was, like, he wasn't grumpy or anything, but I could tell like there was a slight, there wasn't quite that normal spring in his step that there usually was with me when he talks to me. And I was like, okay, noted, there is something going on here. And anyway, we got to it, and he was like, yeah, look, you're a nice guy, but you're just not working, you're not understanding this industry well enough for us to keep you. I don't think your skill sets really aligns with this industry. It's too detail orientated for you and stuff like that. And to be fair, it was pretty painless, and I was expecting this to happen. So I just took it. I just thought, that's fair enough. Yeah, sure, fine. It was just a 5-minute conversation. And I shook his hand afterwards, and that was that. And he was like, look, take your stuff. We can, take your time. There's no rush, but yeah, you can go, and all the best. And it's not a nice interaction or whatever, but the point is, this is why I say never be surprised, because I knew that something like this could be on the cards from a surprise meeting, and the interaction was just so much better for me having just a little bit of preparation and a little bit of mental rehearsal to myself. So anyway, I dusted myself off, and I got my stuff, and I tidied up my desk and left, and that was that really. And like I say, I had really struggled with this job, and there have been several times when I had wanted to get another job, but I guess in the end I just decided to persevere with it. I just decided that my priority was just getting the money in so I could put it into these vlogs and this YouTube and other things, and it's a good profession. I was learning useful stuff from it, so I just thought better to stick it out. And maybe that was the right decision, maybe it wasn't, but it's the one that I took in the end. But yeah, I cycled home, and to be honest, the feeling I felt more than anything was relief, because it was such a difficult job. And in truth, I don't think I was very wise in deciding to go into that career path. I don't think I was very well suited to it, and it was a relief just to be cycling home and thinking, I don't have to come back here again, And in a sense, I shouldn't have let it got to that. I should have had the sort of presence of mind to go, actually, no, I'm going to leave of my own accord. But that's not how it went. So anyway, I'm in this position now where I'm without a job, and I have no immediate expenses. I paid my rent, I've got a bit of money, but I have got to find a job quite soon, because there's a little part of me that just thought, you know what, this is your chance just to go all in on the YouTube. Just go all in on whatever side hustle you choose. Just you quit your job now. Just focus on that. And I did think about that, and that's kind of advice that a lot of people tell you, is just quit your 9 to 5 and focus on that, on your side hustles. But I just thought, if that was the case, if that was a sensible decision, I would have done it, but I'm not there yet. I still need to keep the lights on. I still need to have something. I need to support myself. I don't think it's good for me not to support myself. And so even if that's a bit conventional, even if it's a bit boring, it means just getting a regular 9 to 5. It's better that than I just go all in on something else. Like this YouTube account. It's not the right time. When is the right time? I get what people say. I was talking to one guy who was giving me some coaching, who said, you should wait till you generated about 60% of your income online or on your side hustle before quitting your job and going all out. But anyway, for whatever reason, I've decided that I need to get another job, right? And I'm going to still work on these side hustle things and whatever, but fundamentally nothing's changed. I still need to get some kind of income. And so I've just put together a few habits, a few things that I'm going to do over the next few weeks while I'm sort of in between jobs, that's just going to keep me on the straight and narrow and allow this transition to be smooth. Because fundamentally, nothing really has to change. There's going to be a change of circumstances. Who knows, maybe even a change in location. There's all sorts of things that could happen over the next few months. But one thing that doesn't have to happen is in a sense, nothing's really changed. In a sense, my priorities are the same. I'm still making these YouTube videos. I've got these long-term plans to go to Thailand, become a digital nomad. I've got lots of other side projects that I want to work on, and that still is going ahead. So in that sense, nothing's changed. All that's changed is really the money that's coming in, which I need to generate. So anyway, I put together some habits that I'm gonna do, just some basic things, um, that are gonna keep me on the straight and narrow. Because with my last job, I really struggled after I left it, because I had a job for 4 months before this one, and I didn't get far from that. I left because it was a bit of a scam. Like, it was a really dodgy sales company. Like, I just wanted to get a bit of sales experience. I didn't really want to be there long term, but yeah, I was working at this sales company, and I quit, and I moved back home because I was really broke. I had like no money, and I tried to find a job. And I just really struggled. I just hit like a brick wall with it, and I was just miserable and really unproductive, and that's really what scares me more than anything else right now is like going back there, going back to that place of just being like, what the fuck do I do with myself, and yeah, so there are a few protocols that I'm going to put in place, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to move back home. I've got a bit of money, which is great, so I can stay here, stay afloat, and keep things going smoothly. I think if I go back home, I'll just enter like a different mental state. Plus, I think especially with like when you're with your parents and stuff like that, it does, they worry about you and whatever. But if you're away, if you're in your own place, it takes the pressure off a bit, but for both of you. So that's one thing I've decided. Like, I'm fortunate in the setup I have, where I am able to cruise for the next few months, basically next couple of months. If things really don't go wrong there, then maybe if things really go wrong there, then maybe there's different discussion to be had. But for the next month or so, I can just about survive. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so the second thing is I've got a workflow. In fact, I might actually just show you what I've got on my wall. Like, I'm a big advocate of just writing stuff on your wall. Like, for years I watched these videos of Hamza doing it, and I never really did it. But I'm really, since I've moved to Oxford, I've really been inspired to do it. And so I'll just show you what I've got. I've got a whole bunch of ones. I've got one sort of goals for this month and sort of videos that I want to film and stuff like that. But just today I've done a new bunch over here, which is just specifically job related. And my desk is right over here, so you see what I mean. It's right there while I'm working. It's very focused. I'm kind of breaking the fourth wall here by standing up. But yeah, so the first thing I've got is just this, that is a sort of 5-10 minute sort of mind map, sort of conclusion that I come to about what my dream job would be. So this isn't saying it's going to be the job that I am going to get. And it's not saying that I should get this job, but just if I could click my fingers, this is the kind of job that I would get. So I've just got location, Canary Wharf. I always walked through Canary Wharf when I was working in sales, and we were coming back from somewhere in East London, and it always just looked really cool and exciting. I know people say it's very superficial, but I don't know. I think it would be, if I had to click my fingers and work somewhere, that would be up there. Pay, 30k to 50k, a bit ambitious. Again, am I going to get a 50k job? Probably not, but again, it's an ideal scenario. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Hybrid work, big corporate company, in a skyscraper. I've always wanted to work in a skyscraper, so just why not? Can do the side tasks on the sides. I've got all these things that just keep me focused on like what sort of job I'm actually looking for, because that's an important thing. And over here, I've got just a workflow of like what I'm going to do during the day to ensure that I get this. And basically, I'll sort of just tell you, because this is, it's a bit more writing, but basically what I've said to myself is I'm just going to just use sheer willpower to just force myself to apply to 10 jobs every day. And it doesn't matter if I really don't like those jobs, if I really don't think they're right for me, or if they are, I'm a bit 50-50 about them. I just think I need to get the momentum up, and the way to do that is to just get the applications out. And don't go crazy, don't do hundreds and hundreds, but if I could just write down, just customize 10 CVs for 10 companies that, even if they're just like, I don't know, 50% of what I want out of a job, that just gets me in the right direction, it gets the ball rolling. And then worst comes to worst, basically what I want is I just want to get the interviews starting to come through, and even if they're not really jobs that I want, it makes me feel like I'm making progress. So that's the big thing, because that's definitely the mistake that I made last time, is I just didn't focus on the progress. I didn't get that momentum going. I just sort of froze up, and yeah, it wasn't good, guys. It wasn't good. And the second thing is, just after I've applied for 10 jobs, then spend some time looking for some more jobs. Just go through LinkedIn, scroll through. You can even listen to some music while you're doing it, and just kind of see what jobs you can find. And if you think something's vaguely interesting, save it. And it doesn't have to be, again, the ideal job. You don't even have to be qualified for it. I was going through some jobs today, and it was like, oh, you need 3 years experience in B2B sales to do it. And it was like, I'm just going to save it anyway. I don't have to apply to it, but I just think if I have a list of like saved jobs, that would be good. That's the one thing that was good about coming back today from work, was that I already knew I had like a backlog of jobs that I'd saved on LinkedIn, because like I said, I had thought about getting other jobs, and I had looked through LinkedIn and I just found a few things that I'd saved, and it was good to have that to fall back on, and that's what I've done today. Basically, I've just gone through those saved jobs and just applied to all of them. Half of them are probably already taken or whatever, but I just thought that would just get the momentum going. And the last thing I've got is just keep a spreadsheet of like all the jobs, so I have just some sort of thing to look at of like, yeah, okay, I've applied to these jobs, whatever. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do, all I'm going to hold myself to. And if I can just keep that momentum going, then that's fine, that's good, and we'll see how we go with it. And I'll show you as well, I've got a habit tracker that I've just started this week, today, just because of the circumstances, and I've just got to wake up before 6, 10 jobs applied, 10 jobs found. I think the thing with a habit tracker is you want it to be really simple. You don't want to get loads of unnecessary stuff, so that's all I put on it. And if I can just stick to that, I think the rest will hopefully take care of itself. But yeah, we'll see. And so the last question that I've really had to grapple with today is, what is going to be my attitude towards non-work stuff? Now that I've got I've not got a job, and I'm in a kind of critical position where I need to find one, do I just close down all side projects until I find another job? Because basically this weekend I was planning to go to Wales to film a vlog. I just got paid, and I thought, rent a car, go and film some content there. And I was really excited about going, and then this news came in, and I suddenly thought like, oh, should I get a job? Should I go to Wales, or should I just focus on like getting a job and then go to Wales like as a treat after I've secured the next job? And I've had a thought about it, but I thought to myself, like, what's actually changed? Like, if I've been paid for last month, and I'm financially okay for now, obviously I'm not going to go and have a massive night out and spend hundreds of pounds, but if I'm relatively financially okay, what's changed? And I think, provided that I am doing this, I'm applying for other jobs, and I am looking for new jobs, I actually think I should still keep up the side projects as if I'm still working, just because I think a big mistake you can make is just shut down everything. You still want things to look forward to, even if I'm in this liminal state. I think a big mistake that I made last time I was in between jobs is I just said, like, I kind of had the mentality of, oh, I'm just going to do nothing until I have a job, you know. And it was a silly idea because I just got really depressed and really like, yeah, I had nothing to look forward to basically. And so I think, yeah, I'm going to exercise a little bit more restraints with it this time, you know. I'm going on a date with a girl tomorrow, and again I thought like, oh, should I cancel it? You know, do I want to save the money? Now I'm in a bit of a financially sticky situation, but I just thought, no, I need to have things to look forward to. You know, my life is still going, and I think, yeah, just fit finding a job around that, and provided I do that, then there's no problem with me keeping these side hustles. So who knows, maybe that'll backfire on me, but I just think that's the best plan. So yeah, and yeah, I'm going to do like a sort of eat the frog thing with this as well, because I've done early mornings like quite a lot recently, and I've really enjoyed them. But I haven't really done like the really hard task when I've got up in the morning, because it's been like the fun stuff. It's been editing videos. It's been, you know, making YouTube videos, whatever, journaling, like quite fun, quite soft stuff. But I want to do. I think it's nice now in the position that I'm in, because I can just wake up and just do the hard work of just applying to 10 jobs. And then that's my hard thing done for the day, you know, and the rest of the day I can just chill and do the nice stuff, you know. So, yeah, it's a good position to be in, that I could do that. But maybe I'm just being too overly positive. But yeah, that's basically my attitude towards it. Like I say, never be surprised. You know, I knew this was on the cards. I knew I was struggling with work. I knew this kind of stuff does happen. You know, I remember when I was in university, I had this job for just like part-time job, like working in a hotel. And I didn't take it very seriously, and I messed about quite a lot, and I would just have a shift in the morning and then just do something stupid like go out clubbing, and then I'd miss the shift, or I'd turn up hungover and stuff like that. And like, you know, I recognised that I was probably not being a very good employee, but I kind of didn't think that they'd fire me. You know, I kind of thought like, oh, that just won't happen. You know, I'll bring it back. But then I did get fired, and I was like, oh yeah, shit, like this kind of stuff can happen. If you're not killing it at work, you know, like they're running a business at the end of the day, and like it was a nasty shock at the time. I remember like I didn't handle it very well at all. And yeah, so hopefully like I'm gonna learn my lessons this time, and yeah, make a better decision. But I mean, the important thing, the thing I'm grateful for, is that I do have some kind of aim. I do have some kind of goals. You know, like I could be a lot better, but I do have like a bunch of YouTube videos that I want to film. I do have plans to relocate to Thailand when I make the money. You know, I do have plans for, you know, like I say, this documentary and you know, this TV show. Like I've got lots of things in the pipeline that, like, in a sense, nothing's changed. You know, like the job is there to keep me stable and to allow me to provide for myself, and, you know, learn some lessons along the way. That's the important thing. And so that's kind of kept me anchored. It's kind of kept me sort of, yeah, on the straight and narrow. I mean, I do think there are deeper emotions that I'm probably just not feeling. One thing that I recognise that I do repress a lot of emotion, like I've just realised that about myself. Like, just certain times in my life where I've had a really negative experience that I should be upset about, often I've just kind of been okay about it. Like I haven't really emotionally responded to it. And in a sense it's like, that's great, but also like that's bad, because it means that emotion goes underground and it kind of jeopardizes you in ways that you don't suspect. And I do think, even though like, I do think I've taken it well, like I'm being proactive about it, and that's good, I do think there's still some negative emotions that I have to be aware are there, you know, and it's difficult. I'm still learning how to sort of be in touch with my emotions and all that kind of stuff, but which I do think is important to do, because otherwise you just get really confused and your motivations are kind of all over the place. But yeah, so there's still that to look into, definitely. But on the face of it, I feel fine. Like, I think, I think there will be dark days ahead. I remember leaving my last job, I felt really good for like a few days. Like, I smashed out loads of applications to loads of jobs, and but within like a week, it's just really weird. Like, I lost that motivation, and I think part of it was I didn't keep those small habits going, and I sank into this really negative state, and yeah, it was really bad, and like that could happen again, and it's quite worrying that I might have to face up to that. And I do think it's fine the first day, I'm kind of still processing it, but there will be times over the next few weeks where I'll be like, fuck, like this is really shit. When I'm not getting any responses from jobs, or I'm not finding jobs that I want, or whatever it is. Like, there's gonna be something where I'm gonna be like, yeah, fuck this. This is really shit. I've just gotta recognize that. But yeah, is what it is. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hope there's something you can take away from it. I'm just documenting my journey here, really. And I feel kind of a bit weird promoting my coaching, but given that I have just taken this massive L on my life. But if you do enjoy these videos and you are looking to improve your life and you want a bit of clarity, someone to talk through goals, someone to give you advice, stuff like that, then the link is always below. It'd be great to get you along. But apart from that, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for sitting through this, and see you in the next one.